Initially, a recognition of accomplishment where it is due, starting from the ideation stage to a data center prepared for NVIDIA to have our equipment there, until the time we turned it on, connected everything, and it completed its initial training. Yes, all right, so that initial part, just constructing a huge plant that was liquid-cooled, energized, and allowed in the brief period it took to complete, is superhuman. You have to give Elon a lot of that credit. The first step, in my opinion, should be to choose a location, provide power and cooling, and then choose to construct the largest GPU supercluster in a single unit minus 100,000. Additionally, you witnessed Elon discussing the amazing infrastructure he is constructing. Although Tesla is far ahead of the curve in terms of autonomous vehicles, all automobiles will eventually need to be able to drive themselves. Driving is safer, more convenient, and more enjoyable. To do this, it is now widely acknowledged that the best method for training these models is to directly learn from video. I can't fathom someone who loves cars, builds self-driving cars, and predicts the direction of the automotive industry, breaking all the rules and yet managing to construct a fantastic business. I can still clearly recall the first vehicle I purchased from him. "Are you going to be around to service this car if something happened to it?" was the only question I had for Elon at the time. "No, trust me," he replies, and then notice what transpired. What a fantastic accomplishment. There is more to Tesla's remarkable success than merely watching from the sidelines. Seeking Alpha is your one-stop shop for the most recent information on Tesla, Elon Musk, Tesla innovation, and stock price targets for bulls, and those with an eye for finding the next big thing in the stock market. Our channel may receive a commission if the customer makes a purchase after clicking on the affiliate links in the description. To the best of my knowledge, just one individual on the planet is capable of doing that. Elon is unique in his comprehension of engineering, building huge systems, and resource mobilization. Yes, it's simply unreal. His engineering team is exceptional, of course. The infrastructure team, networking team, and software team are all excellent. Elon is well aware of this. No one slept for 19 days, starting from the time we made the decision to go, the planning with our engineering team, networking team, infrastructure computing team, software team, and all the preparation beforehand, followed by the infrastructure, logistics, and the quantity of equipment and technology that arrived on that day, as well as NVIDIA's infrastructure and computing infrastructure, and all that technology to training. First of all, though, 19 days is amazing. However, it's also rather pleasant to stand back and consider how many days 19 is. Only a few weeks, isn't that right? If you could see the mountain of technology, you would be astounded by all of the networking and wiring. Additionally, networking hyperscale data centers differs greatly from networking NVIDIA equipment. All right? All of the wires that enter a single node, such as the rear of a computer, are wires. It's amazing just to get all the software in this mountain of technology interconnected, isn't it? Yes, I believe what Elon and the X team accomplished is unique, never done before. And I'm grateful that he recognizes the engineering work we performed with him, the planning work, and all that stuff. To put things in perspective, one cluster of 100,000 GPUs is undoubtedly the fastest supercomputer in the planet. It typically takes 3 years to plan a supercomputer, after which the equipment is delivered, and it takes a year to get everything operational. We are discussing 19 days. Everything is operating already. There are, of course, several X algorithms, X frameworks, X stacks, and the like, and we have a great deal of integration to complete. However, even simply the pre-planning of it was remarkable. You see, computers is the factory of artificial intelligence, the engine of industrial automation, and the tool of scientific discovery. The foundation of contemporary civilization is computing, which is undergoing a complete reformation. Applications ranging from digital biology and climate science to artificial intelligence, AI, robots, warehouse logistics, and consumer internet services are driving the exponential growth in computer demand across both science and industry. In the upcoming years, computer cost, and more critically, computing power, will increase rapidly unless a new strategy is implemented. Data centers now account for around 2% of the world's electricity consumption. Corporate commitments to reach net zero and moratoriums on data center energy consumption are clashing with exponentially increasing demand. In the post-Moore's Law age, the industry has realized how. You have to give Elon a lot of that credit. I believe that before deciding to build this 100,000 GPU supercluster, the largest of its kind in a single unit, it is necessary to choose the location, provide cooling, and power it. We then began organizing the date on which he would stand everything up, working backwards. The date he planned to stand everything up was decided upon several months in advance, so we simulated every network configuration and all of the OEMs, systems, software integration, and components. Everything was pre-staged as a digital twin. His entire supply chain was pre-staged by us. All of the networking wiring was pre-staged. Before everything else appeared, we even set up a ground truth or reference zero, system zero, which was a tiny version of it, sort of a first instance. By the time everything arrived, everything had been set up, all of the simulations and practice had been completed. And then there was the big integration. Even yet, the enormous integration was a monument of enormous human teams scuttling over one another, wiring everything up around the clock, and the clusters were up in a matter of weeks. It truly is a monument to his willpower and his ability to think through mechanical and electrical issues while overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. What was done there, after all, is the first time a computer of that size has ever been completed at that speed. It's truly amazing to see our two teams, the networking team, the computer team, the software team, the training team, the infrastructure team, the electrical engineers, and the software engineers, all working together. Measuring the sheer volume of electronics that have to be assembled is certainly worthwhile. There is an enormous amount of equipment. It's simply not normal. It normally takes a couple of years from the time the first systems are delivered till you submit everything for some significant work, for a supercomputer system like that. If it takes a year, don't be shocked. It occurs all the time, really. It's not out of the ordinary, because we couldn't afford to do that. We started a project in our organization a few years ago called Data Center as a Product. Even while we don't offer it as a product, we still need to handle it as such. That is, we need to prepare for it, then optimize, tune, and maintain it. It should be, like when you open your gorgeous new iPhone and everything just sort of works. That's the idea. Naturally, technology is a marvel for making things that way, but we now possess the abilities to accomplish it. Give me a location, some electricity, and some cooling. It will help you put up a data center in, say, 30 days if you're interested. It's very remarkable, really. There are no boundaries to the principles of physics, but it will be difficult. And of course, is it worthwhile? It's unbelievable. Even though we may disagree on whether it is truly general intelligence, it will be a miracle to get to something that we would recognize as a computer that can perform what we ask of it with ease and capability. We are aware of that. Therefore, I believe there are 5 or 6 attempts to reach that point. Naturally, I believe that OpenAI, Anthropic, X, and of course, Google, Meta, and Microsoft. However, are you aware of anyone else that is as optimistic as Tesla? That would be Seeking Alpha, today's sponsor. The greatest online source of pro-Tesla news is Seeking Alpha. For the most recent information on Tesla's pricing targets, innovations, and everything Elon Musk is involved with, click the affiliate link in the description below. There is a link to a very exceptional offer in the description. The next few clicks up that mountain, this frontier, are simply so important. Who wouldn't want to climb that mountain first? It's too important not to try, so I believe the reward for completely reimagining intelligence is fair. Therefore, I believe that there are no laws of physics. It's going to be difficult. Globally, they are developing models that are triggering generative AI and big language models. Elon also discussed the amazing infrastructure he is constructing. One of the most innovative features of Tesla's full self-driving system, version 12, is that it is an end-to-end generative model that learns from watching videos, including surround video, and uses generative AI to predict the next course and steer the vehicle. The job they're doing is amazing, and the technology is truly groundbreaking. Thus, I offer you 2 instances. We collaborate with a startup business called Recursion, which has developed a supercomputer for drug discovery, protein analysis, and molecule generation. The list is endless. We could talk all afternoon about the various sectors of individuals who are now realizing that we have AI models and software that can comprehend and learn.